Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into the crisis that's absolutely tearing Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, apart. We're talking about a situation where the state has pretty much collapsed, and the city, well, it's in a state of open war. So to really get a handle on this, you've got to see this incredible contrast. We're looking at one single island, Hispaniola, but it's split between two countries. On one side, you've got the Dominican Republic, a tourist paradise, things are relatively prosperous. But then, right next door, you have Haiti, a nation just swallowed by conflict. It's wild. One island, two completely different worlds. All right, let's dive right into the heart of it all, the capital, Port-au-Prince. I mean, this is a city that's been carved up by violence, basically split into different territories controlled by whoever has the most guns. And the sheer scale of this is wow. It's estimated there are over 200 different armed gangs just in the capital. So this isn't some simple one group versus the government situation. No, it's this incredibly complex, messy web of control. Imagine living there. Your daily life becomes this constant navigation of invisible and very dangerous borders. And this really shows you the physical reality of it. You've got this small, super secure district up on a hill. That's where the government buildings and big hotels are, and it's totally cut off. Then you look down, and there's the rest of the city, this huge, sprawling area, where for all intents and purposes, the government just doesn't exist anymore. So what does all this actually mean for the people just trying to live their lives? Let's talk about the incredible human cost for everyone caught in the middle of this. Get this, we're talking about 500,000 people, 500,000 people forced from their homes by the violence all across the country. These are families who had to just run, a lot of them with absolutely nothing, just trying to find somewhere, anywhere, safe. And this quote, man, it just hits you right in the gut. It's from someone on the ground who said, "They're not living as a human being. This lady lives under a car." People are stuck in these makeshift camps for months with no real shelter. I mean, living under a car, it's just a fight for basic human dignity every single day. And this is what they're running from. We're talking about entire neighborhoods that are now just ghost towns. The reports from the ground describe streets where every single building is just riddled with bullet holes. Homes are burned to the ground. And in one absolutely chilling moment, someone found a human skull just lying in the street. It's a straight-up war zone. Okay, so this brings us to the main conflict. Who is actually fighting for control of Port-au-Prince? When you boil it all down, it's really two main sides. So on one side, you've got the gangs. And here's the crazy part. A lot of them have actually teamed up under this new coalition. And get this name, Vivre Ensemble, which means living together. The irony is just wow. It's led by this notorious ex-cop they call Barbecue, and they control something like 95% of the city. That means they control the ports, the fuel, the water, everything. Okay, so that's one side. Then, on the other side, you have this grassroots resistance popping up. They're called the vigilantes. And these aren't soldiers. They're regular people, mechanics, farmers, dads, who just picked up weapons to defend their own homes and stop the gangs from taking over. And you can just hear the determination in their voices. One guy put it simply, "We had to step up to defend. I'm a resistant." They see themselves as the protectors of their homes, their families, their little patch of the city. For them, this is it. This is the last line of defense. Now, a total collapse like this doesn't just happen overnight. Not at all. To really understand how Haiti got here, we've got to go back and look at a long and frankly very painful history. Okay, so let's walk through this timeline because it's crucial. It all starts in 1804. Haiti makes history. It becomes the first independent Black nation after a successful slave revolution, an incredible achievement. But then, just a couple of decades later, in 1825, France comes back and imposes this absolutely crippling independence debt to pay back former slave owners for their lost property. And by property, they meant people. This debt just strangles Haiti's economy for more than 100 years. Okay, let's jump forward. 2010, a catastrophic earthquake hits, killing over 200,000 people and just shattering the capital. And then, as if that wasn't enough, the final blow comes in 2021. The president is assassinated. And that just creates a total power vacuum. So here's the thing you have to understand. The gangs that are running rampant today, they didn't just pop up out of nowhere. They literally grew out of the rubble of all these crises, one after another. They filled the vacuum left behind by a state that was weakened for centuries and then finally just broke. All right, for this last part, let's actually go inside gang territory. It's the only way to really understand their power and, believe it or not, to hear their side of the story, their own perspective on the chaos they control. So, remember that gang alliance we mentioned? Vivre ensemble? This is a huge deal. Why? Because you've got gangs that used to fight each other, now all united under one leader, Barbie 2. And the way they see it, or at least the way they frame it, is that they're fighting against a corrupt system. And make no mistake, these guys are powerful. They are stronger, better armed, and more organized than the actual police force. But the really heartbreaking part, the age of some of their members. We're talking about kids as young as 14 years old, joining because they're scared, or because they have to, or because they feel like there is literally no other choice for them. So, you might be asking, where do they get all this power? Well, it all points back to this toxic, vicious cycle of corruption. You've got reports of corrupt cops selling them weapons and ammo. You have a long history of politicians using these gangs as their own personal enforcers. And get this, a single box of bullets can cost $3,500. That tells you this isn't some small-time operation. This is a well-funded, deeply rooted system. And then there's this quote from a gang leader, and it is just jaw-dropping. He admits, yeah, we've done terrible things, but then he starts praising the hardline president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, for basically creating a force strong enough to crush the gangs there. And his whole point is this: the government in Haiti doesn't do that. Why? Because, in his own words, they have interest in the gangs. It is just a stunning thing to hear, both an admission and an accusation, all in one. And that's where things stand in Haiti today. You've got a state that's basically stopped functioning. You've got powerful, armed groups controlling everything. And you have millions of people just caught in the middle, trying to survive day to day. It leaves us with a huge, and honestly, an almost impossible question. What in the world does the future of Haiti even look like?